Of all the animals, man is the only one that lies. Never let formal education get in the way of your learning. It is wiser to find out than to suppose. Love your enemy. It will scare the hell out of them. Pessimism is only the name that men of weak nerve give to wisdom. The lack of money is the root of all evil. The more I learn about people, the more I like my dog. The difference between those that succeed and those that fail is, those that succeeded tried. Never put off till tomorrow what you can do day after tomorrow just as well. Our lives, our liberty, and our property are never in greater danger than when Congress is in session. Success is a journey, not a destination. It requires constant effort, vigilance and reevaluation. The dog is a gentleman. I hope to go to his heaven, not man's. Great people are those who make others feel that they, too, can become great. Education. The path from cocky ignorance to miserable uncertainty. Life is short. Break the rules. Forgive quickly. Kiss slowly. Love truly. Laugh uncontrollably and never regret anything that makes you smile. I was educated once, it took me years to get over it. Why waste your money looking up your family tree? Just go into politics and your opponent will do it for you. I cannot help but notice that there is no problem between us that cannot be solved by your departure. God created war so that Americans would learn geography. Great things can happen when you don't care who gets the credit. If you have nothing to say, say nothing. It's easy to make friends, but hard to get rid of them. A German joke is no laughing matter. The truth hurts, but silence kills. Courage is not the lack of fear. It is acting in spite of it. Those who do not read have no advantage over those who cannot read. I have been born more times than anybody except Krishna. Writing is easy. All you have to do is cross out the wrong words. Too bad that youth is wasted on the young. Worrying is like paying a debt you don't owe. Do not complain about growing old. It is a privilege denied to many. If voting made any difference, let us do it. For the majority of us, the past is a regret, the future an experiment. The only difference between a taxman and a taxidermist is that the taxidermist leaves the skin. There was never yet an uninteresting life. Such a thing is an impossibility. Inside of the dullest exterior there is a drama, a comedy, and a tragedy. Focus more on your desire than on your doubt, and the dream will take care of itself. Temper is what gets most of us into trouble. Pride is what keeps us there. Just because you're taught that something's right and everyone believes it's right, it don't make it right. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. When in doubt, tell the truth. It will confound your enemies and astound your friends. Everyone is a moon, and has a dark side which he never shows to anybody. A gentleman is someone who knows how to play the banjo and doesn't. We are all ignorant, just about different things. A good lawyer knows the law, a clever one takes the judge to lunch. To succeed in life, you need two things: ignorance and confidence. I can live for 2 months on a good compliment. A man who chooses not to read is just as ignorant as a man who cannot read. A sin takes on a new and real terror when there seems a chance that it is going to be found out. Education consists mainly of what we have unlearned. What a man wants with religion in these breadless times surpasses my comprehension. The best cure for Christianity is reading the Bible. The secret of making progress is to get started. When you fish for love, bait with your heart, not your brain. There is a charm about the forbidden that makes it unspeakably desirable. The ability to find solutions to life's challenges is what makes us grow as a person. Do not offer a compliment and ask a favor at the same time. A compliment that is charged for is not valuable. When your friends begin to flatter you on how young you look, it's a sure sign you're getting old. The secret source of humor is not joy but sorrow. Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. It is better to deserve honors and not have them than to have them and not deserve them. Give every day the chance to become the most beautiful day of your life. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. He who asks is a fool for 5 minutes, but he who does not ask remains a fool forever. The truth is a precious commodity. That's why I use it so sparingly. Against the assault of laughter nothing can stand. It's easy to endure adversity if it happens to someone else. In the first place, God made idiots. That was for practice. Then he made school boards. Suppose you were an idiot. And suppose you were a member of Congress, but I repeat myself. A man's character may be learned from the adjectives which he habitually uses in conversation. If you want love and abundance in your life, give it away. We like a man to come right out and say what he thinks if we agree with him. Man was made at the end of the week's work when God was tired. Good judgment is the result of experience and experience the result of bad judgment. I've lived through some terrible things in my life, some of which actually happened. In the beginning of a change, the patriot is a scarce man, and brave, and hated and scorned. When his cause succeeds, the timid join him. For then it costs nothing to be a patriot. Get your facts first. Then you can distort them as you please. The past does not repeat itself, but it rhymes. Under certain circumstances, profanity provides a relief denied even to prayer. You can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. Some of the worst things in my life never even happened. College is a place where a professor's lecture notes go straight to the student's lecture notes, without passing through the brains of either. Nothing spoils a good story like the arrival of an eyewitness. The older I get, the more clearly I remember things that never happened. Don't wrestle with pigs. You both get dirty and the pig likes it. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. Obscurity and incompetence, that is the life that is best worth living. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. Do something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. The trouble is not in dying for a friend, but in finding a friend worth dying for. Noise proves nothing. Often a hen who has merely laid an egg cackles as if she laid an asteroid. If smoking cigars is not permitted in heaven, I won't go. By land. They're not making it anymore. The good Lord didn't create anything without a purpose. But the fly comes close. It is by the goodness of God that in our country we have those three unspeakably precious things: freedom of speech, freedom of conscience, and the prudence never to practice either of them. Additional problems are the offspring of poor solutions. Never let the truth get in the way of a good story. If you hold a cat by the tail, you learn things you cannot learn any other way. Worrying is paying interest on a debt you might not even owe. I don't like to commit myself about heaven and hell, you see. I have friends in both places. Education is what you must acquire without any interference from your schooling. Never tell the truth to people who are not worthy of it. If you tell the truth, you do not need a good memory. There are many humorous things in the world, among them the white man's notion that he is less savage than the other savages. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. I didn't attend the funeral, but I sent a nice letter saying I approved of it. Those who do not read the news are uninformed. Those who do are misinformed. Begin with the determination to succeed, and the work is half done already. The average woman would rather have beauty than brains, because the average man can see better than he can think. Never miss an opportunity to shut up. It's better to be an optimist who is sometimes wrong than a pessimist who is always right. If ignorance is bliss, why isn't the world happier? I do not wish any reward but to know I have done the right thing. The worst loneliness is not to be comfortable with yourself, Sacred cows make the best hamburger. Life would be infinitely happier if we could only be born at the age of 80 and gradually approach 18. If you have no will to change it, you have no right to criticize it. Do the right thing. It will gratify some people and astonish the rest. I wonder if God created men because he was disappointed with the monkey. Men are like bank accounts. The more money, the more interest they generate. They did not know it was impossible, so they did it. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. A banker is somebody who lends you an umbrella and takes it away as soon as it starts raining. But who prays for Satan? Who? In 18 centuries, has had the common humanity to pray for the one sinner that needed it most? The more things are forbidden, the more popular they become. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection. How easy it is to make people believe a lie. And how hard it is to undo that work again. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that. But the really great make you feel that you, too, can become great. Eat a live frog first thing in the morning and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. There is nothing to be learned from the second kick of a mule. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Good decisions come from experience. Experience comes from making bad decisions. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. When in doubt, tell the truth. We regret the things we don't do more than the things we do. A clean desk is a sign of a cluttered desk drawer. We despise no source that can pay us a pleasing attention. Laughter is the greatest weapon we have, and we, as humans, use it the least. Never have a battle of wits with an unarmed person. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. Some people get an education without going to college. The rest get it after they get out. Knowledge becomes wisdom only after it has been put to good use. No man's life, liberty, or property are safe while the legislature is in session. Those that respect the law and love such should watch neither being made. If a person offends you, and you are in doubt as to whether it was intentional or not, do not resort to extreme measures, simply watch your chance and hit him with a brick. If you want to change the future, you must change what you're doing in the present. It's no wonder that truth is stranger than fiction. Fiction has to make sense. Adam was the luckiest man in the world. He had no mother-in-law. I saw a startling sight today. A politician with his hands in his own pockets. The most interesting information comes from children. For they tell all they know and then stop. If we were meant to talk more than listen, we would have 2 mouths and 1 ear. Let us live so that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. The more you explain it, the more I don't understand it. If you can't get a compliment any other way, pay yourself one. Enthusiasm is caught, not taught. Truth is stranger than fiction. But it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities, truth isn't. Heaven goes by favor. If it went by merit, you would stay out and your dog would go in. No amount of evidence will ever persuade an idiot. Politicians and diapers must be changed often. And for the same reason. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect. Consider the average intelligence of the common man. Then realize 50% are even stupider. Few things are more irritating than when someone who is wrong is also very effective in making his point. A patriot is someone who stands for his country always, and for his government when it is deserved. When the end of the world comes, I want to be in Kentucky, because everything there happens 20 years after it happens anywhere else. Unused talents gives you no ad for someone who has no talent at all. A habit cannot be tossed out the window, it must be coaxed down the stairs a step at a time. It is a mistake that there is no bath that will cure people's manners. But drowning would help. Go to heaven for the climate, hell for the company. It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. If you can't stand solitude, perhaps others find you boring as well. Never allow someone to be your priority while allowing yourself to be their option. If your only tool is a hammer, everything starts to look like a nail. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. The less a man knows, the bigger the noise he makes and the higher the salary he commands. I am pushing 60. That is enough exercise for me. Don't wait, the time is never just right. A half-truth is the most cowardly of lies. Stripping away the irrational, the illogical, and the impossible, I am left with atheism. I can live with that. Imagine, if you will, that I am an idiot. Then, imagine that I am also a congressman. But, alas, I repeat myself. Be careful about reading health books. You may die of a misprint. It is better to give than receive, especially advice. So I became a newspaperman. I hated to do it, but I couldn't find honest employment. The conviction of the rich that the poor are happier is no more foolish than the conviction of the poor that the rich are. Adam was not alone in the Garden of Eden, however, and does not deserve all the credit. Much is due to Eve, the first woman, and Satan, the first consultant. Some people bring joy wherever they go, and some people bring joy whenever they go. Never argue with a fool. Onlookers may not be able to tell the difference. To be great, truly great, you have to be the kind of person who makes the others around you great. Data is like garbage. You'd better know what you are going to do with it before you collect it. If you don't like the weather in New England now, just wait a few minutes. A banker is a fellow who lends you his umbrella when the sun is shining, but wants it back the minute it begins to rain. Some people give their problems swimming lessons instead of drowning them. The cost of living hasn't affected its popularity. I deal with temptation by yielding to it. You can have brilliant ideas, but if you can't get them across, your ideas won't get you anywhere. Lee Iacocca: love is the irresistible desire to be irresistibly desired. The new political gospel. Public office is private graft. The finest clothing made is a person's own skin. But, of course, society demands something more than this. Education that consists in learning things and not the meaning of them is feeding upon the husks and not the corn. Don't go around saying the world owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. It was here first. There's always something about your success that displeases even your best friends. Don't dream your life, but live your dream.